Welcome to today's video. Before I start, I wanted your opinion on something. Here is a list or wheel of all of my decks that I currently have in Master Duel. There are currently 38 decks and it increases every month. I will be making a video on each and every one of them, but I was thinking in the meantime, if you guys are interested, every time the channel reaches a 100 subscriber milestone, so starting at 300, I could pick a random commenter and they could pick between 1, a first to 3 match with different decks. You would be spinning the wheel, picking what deck I play. We could also do a Discord call during the match. Or 2, I could help you build your deck. I would then upload the experience to the channel. I want to diversify the content that I make and also have more ways that I can interact with you all. So please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Starting from this video, I will be adding a link to this wheel in case you want to see what decks I have in the description below. I will also update it as I get new cards. But enough about that. Let's talk about Umi control. This deck revolves around cards that become Umi on the field. We actually open pretty well. I discard Warrior of Atlantis to add Legendary Ocean to my hand. This is one of many ways we can get an Umi. Kairyu-Shin is one of the new cards. It lets us add from the deck to our hand 1 Umi, 1 Kairyu-Shin spell trap, or 1 Sea Stealth spell trap. When Umi is on the field, it is also a floodgate where each player can only have 1 non-water monster on the field. You might be wondering why I didn't use Extravagance. I only run 1 copy of it for emergencies. The great thing about this deck is most of the cards can draw or add cards from the deck to our hand. So I ended up adding Fury, which can then add Torrential to our hand. While in the grave, we can banish it to protect our water monsters from destruction. This turns Torrential Tribute into a Raigeki. Then I use Fish Sonar to add Doom Kraken. Since we have Umi on the field, we can special summon 1 normal water monster from our deck. I only run 1 normal monster and that's Giga Gaga Gigo. Doom Kraken is a kind of quick effect alpha, the king of beasts. While Umi's on the field, you can return 1 of your water monsters to your hand and destroy 1 of your opponent's monsters. You might be asking why I didn't use Torrential Tribute. It was because I didn't really care of anything they were doing and I would rather have them tribute it instead of my high value targets like my Umi or my monsters. I make 2 misplays during this turn. The first one was forgetting about Dimension Shifter. I foolish Ice Barrier which I could have banished from the grave to add Gamma Seal to our hand. The second misplay I made was not normal summoning Gaga Gigo. For some reason I thought that if I summoned it, they would then get to normal summon again using their field spell. But they couldn't since Ryza is not a Floowandereeze monster. And it didn't matter since they passed anyways. This time, I use Kairyu-Shin to add Rage. It is a quick play spell that destroys our opponent's monsters up to the number of water monsters that originally were level 5 or higher. And they quit. So here is our deck list. In the latest version, I removed the Foolish Burial and the Ice Barrier combo since I found myself not really using it. There are so many good cards that it was so hard cutting it down to almost 40 cards. If you really want to, you can cut the Extravagance. In the extra deck, I put as many generic water monsters in there, but from my experience, this deck doesn't really need an extra deck. Between the negates, floodgates, and destruction effects, the main deck is really self-sufficient, at least up to the mid-platinum rank. So we have 12 different cards that get us to Umi. At all times, Legendary Ocean is Umi, even in the deck. Sea Stealth 2 and Maiden are Umi while on the field. Kairyu-Shin can add Legendary Ocean and Sea Stealth, while Warrior of Atlantis and Terraforming can add Legendary Ocean. Electric Jellyfish can send 1 Umi, and usually that will be Legendary Ocean from our deck to the grave to summon another water monster from our hand. Our main summon target should be Kairyu-Shin, and Maiden would be our backup if we don't have Umi on the field already. Kairyu-Shin can then add a Sea Stealth attack, which we can then use to activate Legendary Ocean from our grave during our opponent's draw phase. While Legendary Ocean is on the field, it gives all water monsters an additional 200 attack and defense points. It also lowers all water monsters levels by 1. Sea Stealth 2 protects your water monsters from targeted non-water monster effects. It also lets you summon a water monster that lists Umi in its text during the battle phase. Fish Sonar lets you add a level 7 or lower water monster from your deck to your hand. When Umi's on the field, you can also special summon Gagagigo. Mega Fortress Whale lets your water monsters attack directly and also destroy one of your opponent's monsters during the battle phase. Electric Jellyfish can negate one monster effect or one spell each turn, and it will also gain 600 attack and defense points. Kairyu-Shin prevents both players from having more than one non-water monster. Sea Stealth Attack can banish one water monster from your field until the end phase to protect all of your spells and traps from destruction. Also, when your water monster, whose original level is 5 or higher, battles another monster, destroy the other monster. Dark Reef sends one Umi card from your field, and in this case it only works for Legendary Ocean and Sea Stealth 2 to summon 2 water monsters from your deck. If you need another copy of Umi, you can summon Maiden and any of these other 3 useful monsters. If your opponent has a special summon monster on the field, you can also summon Gagagigo. Here we have a list of the cards that Kairyu-Shin adds. Aside from the ones we've already talked about, Rage will destroy your opponent's monsters up to the number of water monsters on your field whose original level is 5 or higher. Also, those monster zones cannot be used until the end of the next turn. Fury will add a torrential tribute to your hand, and while in the grave, it can be banished to protect your water monsters from destruction. Since many of these cards and Kairyu-Shin are searchable, we only really need to play one copy of some of these cards. From my experience playing with this deck up to the middle platinum ranks, the extra deck is not really needed. So if you want to try this deck out, you don't really have to commit to all these URs in the extra deck. So let me know what you think of this deck. I have prepared some duels against Adventure Prank Kids, branded Despia, and Swordsoul. I hope you found this video helpful, and as always, thanks for watching.